Hi, this is Weekly Reflections, and I'm Nancy Joy. I'm back. Happy 2016. May it rain blessings down upon us, one and all. Really good feeling about it, very transformational feeling. And I am in focus. My wonderful husband fixed my camera, so thank you, Mark. Okay, today's reflection really is about time and money and how it's affecting us and creating the shift and the change that we are all dreaming of right now. And I've done this quote before, but I've kind of reframed it. The quote is from Buckminster Fuller, and listen closely. You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, you build a model that makes everything else obsolete. It's very exciting because in our dreams, in our creations, in our thoughts and feelings about the new reality and what we're coming into, how we're going to thrive in this new space, we are creating something that makes the old very obsolete, already very obsolete. It's a very powerful form of consciousness. And I titled this reflection, Time, Money, and the Shift, because it's very related, really. As conscious as we are, and as much as we have all awakened, we so often return to the old model and fight against it. It's almost our nature. If we can fight against something, we can make a change. We know that the way we make a change is to change ourselves and to take an action that puts something into motion that changes ourselves. So Fuller kind of reminds us that all we're really doing when we fight something is we're getting frustrated, impatient, depressed, when things don't change, when we have the expectation they will, and they don't change. And it creates a lot of unhappiness at a time when really joy is what we want to create. We are too focused on what isn't happening and what we feel hasn't changed. Linear time is, of course, an artifact. It is not really the truth of the cosmos or even our planet. We do not vibrate to planetary time or to galactic time. We vibrate to a man-made time, very third dimensional. Now, of course, okay, in this, where we are right now, to get to an appointment to create an event in the 3D reality, we do use that 12-hour, 24-hour clock, but it's not our natural rhythm. And that's then created into the false Gregorian calendar, which disturbed the cycles of Earth time. You all know this, so we're not going to spend too much time on it. But when you can be in real time, in the flow of the orbits and cosmic changes and all of that, the seasons and everything, when you're in that vibration, you are in a vibration of creation. You're in the flow of the way energy is naturally flowing. So it's yours right now if you want to create it. You have a choice right now. And what's happened is that many of us have connected to wonderful things going on in the way of money and abundance. There are things like currency revaluations, Iraqi dinar, dong. There are the prosperity packages that have been withheld from us for so long that are now about to be returned. There's the St. Germain Trust, similar thing with the Knights Templar. There are other programs such as abundance circles and all kinds of programs going on out there that have really the light workers have tuned into them and begun to participate in them very actively, really for us since 2009, maybe others even earlier. And what it has done, it is opened, it's like it took away a shroud, took away the clouds of what we could dream and what we couldn't dream. And it opened our dreams up expansively, that we could possibly have this much money, this much abundance to change the world, to help people, to start our programs, to bring about free energy and healing, the medical paradigm changing into the conscious one where there is no more disease, and on we go. And before these programs were brought to the front and the light workers jumped in on them and began to really energize that feeling, we had dreams. We could know there was going to be an ascension or a shift, but they were very distant and very cloudy. They didn't feel really real. How do we break out of this? How do we break out of being in debt and slaves to a system that doesn't help most of us thrive, the majority of us thrive? And so they're really, really wonderful things. And I saw a t-shirt the other day I just loved. It was a little too small or I would have bought it. And it said, "Don't give up your daydream anytime soon," which of course is a takeoff on the famous quote. Yeah, like to people dreaming of this prosperity stuff. Oh yeah, well maybe, but don't give up your day job anytime soon, right? And so I love that. Now at the same time all this is going on, we fall back into the constructs of linear time. And lots of people are out there saying this is going to happen tomorrow, next week, in a few days, it's already happening, all this stuff. And no matter what program it is or what you're involved in, the fact of it is that is almost a deliberate thing. I'm not saying that people out there talking to us are ill-intended, but it is a program to keep us in linear time. A week, a day, an hour, it's already happened. Instead of feeling and living, just being in the fact that it's already happened. Living your daydream now, let's say, which is what Buckminster Fuller is telling us. Create something that is going to completely obliterate what isn't working and be in that space with it. And that's the part we forget because of our impatience and everything. A friend recently shared with me her dream of what she called utopia, but it's the kind of world we're all dreaming of thriving and having abundance and people being well and happy and so on. No more poverty, no more starving, no more children dying, etc. And she said, she almost apologized for it. And I said, "Why would you apologize for such a beautiful dream?" And she said, "Well, because people make fun of me and my, family and friends. And they say, get in the real world, live in the real world." Yeah, maybe someday. Well, sure, they're still wearing that t-shirt that says, "Don't give up your day job anytime soon," right? And meantime, you're vibrating and, yep, I'm living in this other place right now. I'm not waiting for any time soon. So it's a beautiful shift. And this just brings me to a few thoughts on the present climate that we're in right now. It's kind of like we're all waiting for the push to jump off a cliff, and yet no one's pushed us or showed us where we're going to be landing. So we go back to time. Well, maybe tomorrow, and then if this happens, then I can do this. And if that happens, then I can do that. Once again, we're taken off our power place. We've been pushed off our power place is what we've done. I believe there is a big economic shift going on in this playing field, and it's well underway, no matter how it may appear to the outside, which Ezekiel always reminds me, you really can't even imagine how this is all going to come down, which is exciting, right? We know how to create a new world. We know how to truly feel it happening. It's outrageous to believe and expand and yet not analyze and question that, going back into the old paradigm world of impossibilities that clouds over our sunshine. So we tend to revisit that world briefly, the one that's clouded, blocking our sunshine, like, well, they said it was going to happen and it didn't. Break out of the time and space continuum. That's why I titled this Reflections, Time, Money, and the Shift. It is all so intertwined and interconnected. The most important feature in creating the new reality is that we all thrive. It embraces our potential, and it offers us a life of peace and joy and an equal playing field for everyone to manifest their passions and their dreams. So as we continue this roller coaster ride into the shift, when you're so frustrated by slow outward appearance and progress, and that it's happening ever so slowly. Jump off your own cliff. Don't wait to be pushed. Throw your hands, in the air and make everything else obsolete right now because of the way you're feeling, the way you are vibrating. That is, of course, what changes everything. And not to be so repetitive, but to quote Matt Kahn, like the same quote I used last week, one more time again, as never before, that I am now. Get out of the time frame. Stop listening to the when. Feel it. Just feel it happening. Make your decisions based on it happening. Vibrate in that happening as never before, that I am now. Once you live in that space for any amount of time, it becomes very real to you. So have fun with this. Catch the magic. Have a great week. Not too sure I'll record next week. I'll be in Florida with the grandkids. We'll see how that goes. Keep in touch with me. I love to hear from all of you. I've been hearing a lot more lately, and it's one of my favorite things. Free mini sessions still going on, and 2-day retreats. As long as we're still here at El Shaddai, come visit us. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.